So broadly, sociology syllabus I would classify into 6 major areas. The first area, titled as social thought or so thinkers. So if you look at thinkers, there are 6 thinkers given in the syllabus. What do these people talk about? What do they study about? So if you look at the 6 thinkers, we study their major contributions to the study of society, wherein if you look at, there are thinkers like Karl Marx who speaks about why do people indulge in strikes? Why do people indulge in class struggle? Why are people alienated in the society? What brings alienation? So similarly, if you look at, there are thinkers like Emile Durkheim who talk about why do people commit suicide? So he studies the interesting problem of suicide in Europe. Why do people commit suicide? So he has taken official statistics and has done the deep dive on suicide. And he classifies suicides into different types. And that suicide is still relevant. We have been talking about former suicide in India. Similarly, if you look at, there are sociologists like Robert K. Merton who talk about why do people break rules? Why do people indulge in deviance? For instance, UPSC last year asked a question, what is the application of Merton's theory to India's traffic problem? So if you look at, traffic problem is all about the violation of the rules. So what are those rules? How do people break rules? Why do people break rules? Is the important contribution from Robert K. Merton. So if you look at like that, under the area social thoughts or thinkers, many of those social issues or social questions are raised. And what we study about their entire contribution, and this spans around close to 200 marks in paper 1. And it has wide application in paper 2 as well. The second area that we deal with is on family, marriage and kinship. So very interesting, because all of us are part of the family and all of us marry. Definitely all of us have our kinship, there's relations. What do sociologists then study here? Sociologists would only like to know, why do we live in nuclear families today? We were living in joint families and there's a breakup of joint families. Why do joint families break? Is it anyway responsible? Is globalization anyway responsible for that? Is modernization anyway responsible for that? So that is the focus of sociologists. So sociologists would like to know new forms of marriages that is coming up, and the questions are directly asked from that. For instance, live-in relationships. Why do we have live-in relationships? What are the challenges associated with live-in relationships, or what we call cohabitation in Western societies? So what happens to, say, legality, or say what we call sacredness of our marriage pattern in India? So what is going to be the stability of the marriage pattern in India? So these are some of the important or interesting questions raised by sociologists under family, marriage, kinship. So we have a third area where we talk about social stratification, which is nothing but divisions in society. And society is divided on several lines. So if you look at in India, we have caste divisions, which is a very, very important thing, very relevant, very unique to India. So what is caste system? Why do people still have that stickiness to caste system? What is making people so unique? So if you look at, not just that, castes have taken new forms today. Castes have become caste associations. They have become caste federations. But what role do they play? Even general studies, the questions are asked. What is caste association? What is caste federation? And how do they have nexus with political parties? Why do political parties and political ideologies are becoming caste ideologies? So this is a very important focus. So if you look at, it's a very, very interesting area, social stratification. It spans around, if you look at paper 1, paper 2, both coupled together, again, very, very important area from the Marx perspective. Then we have an area called power and politics. Who holds power? Who is powerful in society? Is it political party? Is it pressure groups? If pressure groups, who is holding power? For instance, whether students' union is holding power. So pressure group, one of these pressure groups that we talk about industrial groups like Confederation of Industry being very powerful. And we do see there is a budget meeting that happens. Every time before the release of the budget, there is a meeting with the CIA. Does this mean that industrial groups are very powerful? Do they pressurize government? And that's where we study about interest groups and pressure groups in sociology. So again, very interesting area spanning across paper 1 and paper 2, where when it comes to India, we talk about political parties, social origin of political parties, who is holding the leadership in political parties, what is the social background of the leaders. So if you look at once at the time of independence, we had elite leadership. We talk as leaders like Jawaharlal Nehru, leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, where sociologists, they study the background and they say people from journalism background, people from lawyer background, people from urban background used to come into politics. But then the entire political elite profile has undergone change in India. So post-independence, we sociologists call it as political populist elites who are surrounded by their caste groups. So how do such changes take place in the society? What kind of change does it bring on democracy? Functioning of democracy in a multicultural society like India, a very important topic in sociology. So this is again paper 1, paper 2, very relevant to India, in Indian context and from the Marx point of view. So there is an area called religion. Very interestingly, when science came, people thought religion will die out. This was the belief in 19th century. But contrary to this expectation, sociologists found out, sociologists do not study what theologists study. Sociologists study only about what are the social implications of religion. Why do people worship religion? Why do people fight in the name of religion? Why do we have communalism? Why do we have fundamentalism? What is secularism? What is secularization? And these differences have been asked not just in sociology, also in general studies. If you look at secularism, secularization, the debate has been there. What is communalism in the context of India? What is communalism in the context of Western society? There are differences. Definitely all these issues I will discuss in my next video on the application. So if you look at, these are the major areas in concentrated under the religion and society. Why are minorities targeted in India? So we have problems of minorities as a separate subtopic under the religion unit. So we have similarly topic like the social movements and social change. A very interesting topic where we talk about how is Indian culture undergoing a change. So we talk about social changes, under which we talk about cultural changes. Are we losing our cultural identities in India? What kind of cultural threat has come into due to British impact, due to Islamic impact in India, and then today due to impact of globalization? Such questions also figure out in general studies, social issues also. If you look at this here, there's a question on how globalization leads to multiculturalism. How does it create multicultural identities, dual identities in India? And very interesting topic, very interesting topic. And we in sociology, we study about how these changes take place in detail in the Indian culture. So this is again a paper 1, paper 2, but has lots of application in paper 2. So this is a very interesting area we talk about. So very happy to say that all these areas very interesting day to day, up to we read about this in the newspapers daily, we live in the society, and then we every day we live and experience these issues.